Yo, what is up, guys? So I actually fixed Playboi Carti's new album, I Am Music or Music. But before I get into that, I just want to talk a little bit about the album itself. I guess this is going to be kind of like a follow-up video to my Playboi Carti Hates His Fans video, which is kind of a rage bait video, to be honest. But this is going to be a proper video. So I'm just going to talk about the pros and cons first before like really diving into it. Pros, he revisits a lot of his ideas or sounds from Whole Lotta Red, which I actually really enjoyed. Those tracks in particular were very aggressive, abrasive, in your face. The ad-libs are crazy. I also really enjoyed the different voice changes that he did throughout the album. There's a few, not all, of the features that I think are very solid. You know, Kendrick Lamar, Skepta, and The Weeknd I thought were like the highlights in terms of the features. Overall, it's the handful of tracks that I did enjoy were very fun, and I think that a lot of the production and Carti's new sound is very different compared to his previous albums, which is quite refreshing, honestly. So now we're going to get into the cons of the album. So for starters, the album is incredibly bloated. Like it feels like there's so many filler tracks, and especially on a lot of these filler tracks, the songs just don't go anywhere. They don't develop very much. And a lot of the features, honestly, are kind of stale. They don't add that much to the songs themselves and the album overall. A lot of the production on these filler tracks, as I call them, feel very bare bones. The album is also incredibly inconsistent. Some songs feel kind of rushed at times, like Jumpin' with Lil Uzi feels like very weird. Playboi Carti hardly really even raps on that song, and then Lil Uzi has like one verse and the song just ends abruptly for some reason. Also, the song something We the Vibes or something, that song is incredibly jarring, especially on my first listen. Like you come off an insane song like Cocaine Nose, and then you get into We the Vibes. The song just feels really out of place. It feels as if it was meant to be a single, but for some reason Carti slapped it on here. I'm not really sure. Even on repeat listens, like I've already heard the album about 4 times now, and it still feels out of place. I guess the album just doesn't really flow well at all. Also, here's some cool concert footage from when I was at the Pop Out concert. Those are like the major cons of the album. I feel like if you cut down a lot of the filler and fluff, the album actually is a lot more palatable. And the album actually is much better in my opinion. Because I honestly, I don't think the album is bad, but I don't think it's good either. Overall, on my first listen, it was incredibly fun. And I like a lot of the different directions that the album tries to go in. And it's interesting at times, but I actually think it's more detrimental to the overall album than actually like leaning into it. It just works against it. The album is mostly bogged down by all these just fluff tracks and filler. They don't do anything. Even a lot of the features, like they really don't do anything. They're just there. And on some songs, it just feels like Carti's being featured on his own song, which is incredibly bizarre. Even on repeat listens, it just gets even more bizarre as I continuously listen to the album. 30 songs at an hour is kind of insane. Also, the album should have been called Narcissist. I don't know why he went with music. It really should have been Narcissist, honestly. And also, why the fuck is PR Born nowhere on this album? Like, I don't know if they got beef or something, but, you know, when they worked together in the past on Die Lit, it was pure magic. So, like, why not work together again? I feel like that was a big missed opportunity, especially Carti needed to make a big comeback here. And if he got Pierre Bourne to like produce some of the tracks on here, I feel like that would have went a long way. I really wish that he developed his Whole Lotta Red sound more, because when I listened to that album, I really liked the sound that he was kind of going for on that album. And I was really hoping that he would develop that sound more. And he kind of does it on some of the songs throughout this album, but I think he plays it too safe, honestly. And he kind of relies on some of the features like a little too heavily, and this like very boring production. Like, he just plays it safe. Also, I don't understand why 2024 is nowhere on this album. That was one of the better tracks that he put on his Insta. I don't know why it's not on here. Yeah, but let me quit yapping and just show you guys. Uh, this is what I think the album should have been. Should have been titled Narcissist. Let's be honest here. Also, I only picked 15 tracks out of the 30 because I only picked the ones that, in my opinion. Again, guys, this is all my opinion. Of course, you are free to disagree with me. You can go in the comments, tell me what you liked, what you hated about the album, or just your general thoughts. I'm not trying to bag on the album or anything. I just feel like it just feels like a lot of wasted potential, honestly. I feel like this album could have been so much more. And it's kind of sad. Like, I'm a big Carti stan, guys. Like, I really am. And I think that's why it's important, too, to be very critical of artists that you like, because you want the best out of them, obviously. So I think it's important to discuss these things. Yeah, so 15 out of the 30 tracks, I think, in my opinion anyway, that I think stand out the best. And I find that when the album like this, it's much more coherent. It flows way better. It sounds more consistent. And it kind of just sounds way better, in my opinion. It doesn't make the album like sound that much better. Or I'm sorry, rather, the album's, it sounds more like Whole Lotta Red, but I wouldn't put it on par with that album. It's probably a little bit worse. Like, if I had to rank the albums, it would be like Die Lit, Whole Lotta Red, and then it's kind of up in the air. I think this album, with the 15 tracks lined up the way that it is, this album might be like on par with the mixtape, or if not, like slightly better. It makes this album like decent, like above average. Like, if I had to rate it, probably be like with 15 tracks, the way I trimmed it down, I'd probably put it like a 7 out of 10. And I gave it a few listens already with the 15 tracks that I chose, and it sounds way better, guys, honestly. Also, I'm just going to talk about some wish list things, hopefully, for the future. I was really hoping for a Yeet collab. Now, it's probably never going to happen, but stylistically, I feel like it makes sense. Yeet and Playboi are so similar in their sounds. I like the bold choice with Kendrick, especially like since Kendrick is so big right now. But honestly, there was only one good song out of the 3 Kendrick features that I think worked well. But yeah, I would have loved to see a Yeet feature somewhere on here. I think Blade also would have been really cool. Like, it makes sense stylistically. Tizo Touchdown is another one that I think would be very interesting. And, they're both very strange, and they have, unique sounds to them. And I feel like it would kind of work in a cool way. I also wish that Playboi would stop trying to copy Future for some reason. I get it. Maybe that's his idol or whatever, but I think Playboi should just focus on developing his own sound. And I hope that he really takes the criticism from this album and really tries to use that for his benefit for a future album. Hopefully we don't have to wait 5 years again for a future project. I really enjoyed particular tracks like Pop Out is an insane start to an album. Crash is pretty cool. HBA. What was the other one? Lil Like Wheezy is a pretty cool track. I See You Baby, Good Credit. Like, those are all phenomenal tracks. And I feel like they stand out quite a bit, especially in the context of 30 songs. But yeah, I feel like if you just trim it down, the album is so much better. I am a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie, but hey, at least we got some new Carti music. So I guess I am a bit optimistic for the future for what Carti will do next. I think he just needs to get fucking Pierre Bourne again, and they just need to do an album together again. Just a Dial It 2 or something. Also, all these images in this video I pulled off randomly from Google Images. So, shout out to the people who edited and photoshopped those pictures of the narcissist stuff and those other pictures that are in this video. So, shout out to them. Don't know who you are, but very cool pictures. Also, please like and subscribe. And again, let me know your guys' thoughts. If you liked it, if you hated it, if you agree with me, disagree. And yeah, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it.